What's up with my IPA family? It's your boy L APA coming through with another video, some content for your mind, your soul. You guys already know. And as always, you guys already know what we do on this channel, and we're kicking them tails for the YGs and the reoffenders. And on this case, as you can tell by the good old caption, that uña, that thumbnail, man, dudes that got hands in prison. And I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? But let me tell you this story, man. And I've seen this happen a handful of times. This one right here wasn't a stabbing. I haven't even told the ones with the stabbings yet. But this one, I think I mentioned it before at my channel, my last channel, about over a year ago. But let me go ahead and reiterate for those of you that are barely here, haven't heard the story, didn't have the time to go back and check out my videos. Here we go. Pleasant Valley, B Yard. B Yard was, just to give you a little synopsis of the history of B Yard, the reputation. In Pleasant Valley, B Yard was the active yard, meaning like not only was it GP, but it was a yard that was always rocking and rolling. B yard and C yard were or GP. The C yard was more like questionable. The homies that were there were good. Then B yard was where, man, we had the Bulldogs, we had everybody. We were all rocking and rolling. I already told some of the stories, guys, the riots, the Norteño riots, the incidents and everything. So on one of the times we were out in the yard, man, there was this homie, man. He had Los Angeles in the back of his head. Tall dude, light skin, tatted up everywhere. And, maybe it's just me being biased a little bit, but he used to always be rolling around the yard, man, like his shit didn't stink, in my opinion. No disrespect to Los, shout out to Los. I got a lot of family from there. I was born in Los Angeles, um, raised in Santana, born in Los Angeles, stood there for one day, came back to Santana because my family's Medicare was the only hospital that would take the Medicare was USC Medical Center. I'm a Trojan baby. Yeah, we were living in Santana, went there, gave birth, came right back, my mom. So, yeah. So, I love LA. But, I mean, a lot of them dudes are arrogant. A lot of them dudes think their shit don't stink. And this was one of them cats. And he was a tall dude. Like I said, he was big, but he was thin. And there was a camarada, man. His name was Menace. Shout out to Menace, man. I don't remember where the hell he was from. But for those of you that remember this removal, I think there was somebody once upon a time when they first seen it, they remembered who he was. I think I think he's from LA or IE, one of those two. I know he wasn't from Orange County. That's for damn sure. Um, but yeah, man. A lot of dudes walk around the yard thinking like, oh man, a removal, I got this. Boom, 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 boom. And you could tell he was young too. And then when this day came, we all went out to the yard. Obviously, unfortunately, motherfuckers gossip, so we knew something was gonna go down. For the most part, man. For those of you guys that know, you're not really on the 180s. It's less prevalent that somebody will know that something's gonna go down, unless you're like in the circle. Um, on a 3 yard, which the brief time I was there, damn near everybody knows. One person tells a person that they think they could trust. That person thinks they could trust somebody else. That person might, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And by the time everybody knows, you know what I'm saying? Not the placas, but the camaradas. So we're all expecting it, man. We know not to go out there strapped. Yard's gonna go down. We're gonna go right back in because they're gonna shut down the yard. And this was around the time where removals were getting the yard shut down. After a while, they weren't getting the yard shut down no more because there were so many fucking removals, bro, that it was what it was. It even applied to stabbings. But anywho, so it happened over there by the bars, man, the pull-up bars, the dip bars, or there by the horseshoe area on B Yard in Pleasant Valley. And I heard that it was this dude Menace was gonna get taken off the yard, and the reason he was getting taken off the yard, man, I think he lost a fierro or some shit like that. I think he lost a fierro, something that wasn't really, in my opinion. I mean, if you break a rule, you break a rule. I got touched up for dropping shit too. I haven't told that story, but I will. When I went at it with six motherfuckers, two at a time. Not six at one, two and two. 39 seconds. But anywho, so he had told the camaradas like, hey, I'm right here. I'm right here for whatever. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? With all due respect. And sure enough, man, boom, we're all looking. I'm looking at Menace. He's across the yard. It's funny when you know that something's gonna go down. You're just looking at the person and you're just wondering, when it's gonna happen. You can see everything. And in that case, I was in the loop in this instance, to the point where If you're not in the loop, you can still hear that something's gonna go down. But if you're in the loop, you know who's gonna do it and who's gonna get got. So I knew who was gonna do it and who's gonna get got. And I'm looking at these dudes, and I'm seeing Menace over there working out, doing this, bam, bam. And I see the two dudes. I already know who's gonna do it. And the funny part is that you see them going from one side of the yard. They're walking, making laps, and they're talking amongst each other. And you know that they're plotting on how they're gonna rush them and things like that. How do I know? Because I've done it myself several fucking times, and that's just what it is. So eventually they pass him one time, then they pass him the second time, and I'm thinking like, man, motherfucker, just do it already, you know? Sure enough, whenever they get to doing, they come run up on them and boom, they take off. Boom, 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 boom. And when I'm saying boom, 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 Menace, boom, them two dudes are on them. They're on them, right? But Menace is on them too. Boom, 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 boom. Picture two dudes right in front of them, Menace boxing both of them. Boom, boom, bah, 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 bah. That fool was slinging them, rocking these fools, rocking this fool. This fool hits one of them, boom, fool spins. That fool spun. And then he's going at it with the big dude. He's rocking the big dude. Boom, 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 boom. The other fool comes back. Boom, 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 boom. That's the best two on one, not a stabbing, removal that I've seen in prison. Not to mention Menace was maybe about an inch shorter than the first dude and about 3 inches, 4 inches shorter than the other dude, the dude from LA. They couldn't drop him. And then the whole time I'm thinking like, drop that fool, grab him by the waist and drop him. Drop him. This ain't a fair fight. Don't stomp him out or nothing like that. But you could drop him and boom, 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 boom. That's what I used to do. Shit, I didn't give a fuck. If fool's big, like I told that story when I removed the dude from North Hollywood, Lazy from North Hollywood Locals. Big boy. I went over there. He started fucking smashing him like crimey. I went over there, grabbed him by the waist, and said, that fool was sitting his whole life spinning him. Boom! Hit the ground. That's what I would have done. I would have grabbed that fool, took him to the ground, and boom, boom, boom. But they boxed him. The thing with the removal is that dude has something coming. He doesn't have a regular fight coming. You have to discipline. It's called a discipline for a reason. You have to discipline him at all costs. Don't treat him like a piece of shit. Don't stomp him out like a piece of shit because you cannot do that. But discipline him in any other way that you can. And taking him to the ground is a discipline. You know what I'm saying? You have to get the best of the cat because you're representing the mess side. You're representing the dude that made the call, and you're representing the organization members who them dudes represent. You know what I'm saying? And in this case, that dude Menace, man, I give it to him, man. Shout out to whoever that dude is or wherever he's at, you know, because I never really talked to the cat. I mean, I seen him a few times, not in my head like I do with a lot of camaradas. But yeah, he stood strong. He did his thing, and that fool got hands. That fool got hands, bro. That fool wasn't fucking shying down. And his boy was right next to me. And there was about 2 or 3 other dudes around us, like, yeah, damn, bro, that's man, fucking Menace, the boy right there. Yeah, get that shit. They were legitimately rooting for him, and I could understand why. I don't think I'm the only one that's seen this dude that's from LA like he thought he was a shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that dude was from IE Menace. I'm not sure, man. But anybody who knows who that dude is, man, it was B Yard Pleasant Valley around 2013, somewhere around there. But yeah, man, that's the story for today, man. But always the lesson, guys. Not glorifying this shit. The lesson is always you could go to prison as a youngster, a reoffender. You could be holding something for somebody or even one of your fierros, and if you drop it, this is what's gonna happen to you. You know, if you have hands, you could get yours. You best believe that they were mad. The Mesa was mad, and it's unfair. You know, I don't know what ended up happening, but a lot of the times, dudes are haters. I just dropped a video before this one talking about the making and breaking a homie, and some dudes are trying to break that type of dude. He made the Mesa look bad. They sent 2 dudes to remove him, and he ended up removing them, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like, and by the time that the removal was over, they were all standing up. They couldn't drop him, and it's 2 dudes against 1. You know what I'm saying? I remember thinking like, fuck, man, if they would have put me on standby, I would have went up in there and just finished it off. Finished it off, bro. It is what it is, though, man. I would have loved to fight this type of dude, man, because I like to think I have hands, man. I can't beat everybody up in the world, but I know I got some hands, and shout out to that cat, man. But that being said, man, this is not the type of shit you want to be involved in. It is what it is. One life saved is one life blessed. A smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. Guys, learn from this dude's mistakes. You guys be good. I'm out.